What's up? This is Ryan.
Hey, and this is Michael. Welcome to another episode of All Day Unpacked, Saturday night, late night edition.
Yep.
What's up?
Trying to make my picks. Not going so well.
Yeah, man, the site has just been up and it's just yeah, not a great time, not an ideal situation. The site has been up and down all day. I was getting Cloudflare errors. I was getting timeouts. People,
Yeah.
it's just been a hot mess. And boy, I'll tell you, not a great look when people are trying to lock in their picks, and there are a lot of trade-in challenges for the new Hollow Icon sets that end tomorrow. So I hope they get their shit together before that all starts happening and the games kick off, because we got an early start tomorrow. We got a
Yeah.
Dublin Ireland game.
Yeah.
You getting
Yeah.
up for that one?
No. Not getting up
No,
for that
no,
one.
no.
No, no, no.
Okay.
No. But I just ended up auto-filling some of my picks because I couldn't stand to sit there any longer. I'm just like, I can't do this. So
Yeah.
I kind of had to dial it in for a few of them. You?
Yeah, I mean, luckily I made my picks a little bit earlier in the week,
Okay.
so I was okay with that. So some good news, some bad news. The bad news is that the All Day Unpacked crew has dropped to 18th place overall. Unfortunately, the good news is you and I are out of the basement and no longer the last performer on the squad. Now, we're not going to throw anybody under the bus, but we can just say that we are at least out of the basement now and
Right.
on an upward trajectory to reign supreme by
Right. We
the end
wouldn't
of the
want to
season.
call out Wookiee FC. That wouldn't be right, would it?
No, I would definitely not want to call him out.
Okay.
So now, that being said, he probably like missed his picks or something, and we still barely
Probably.
beat him. But anyway, yeah, that's the situation. So we'll let's keep grinding. We'll keep working on this. We'll get there. But
Yep.
there's some high performing teams. So shout out to the other 17 above us. Hey, there's like, just to be clear, we're in 18th place. There's like a couple hundred below us. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
we'll leave it at that. Like, we're not, the team's
We're no
performing okay.
slouch. We're
No,
no slouch.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, no,
And again,
no.
yeah. Now after this week and with the auto picks coming in from
Yeah.
me, I don't know. Maybe I'll do
I
better.
guess you probably will. You're gonna rocket to the top. I
Yeah.
could see some squads maybe not having full house of picks this week just because of all the issues. Like you said, people getting frustrated. It's kind of a pain to sit there and wait for each one to go through. It's really weird how it's like I'll hit parts of the site and they'll just zip right up, and then I hit another part of the site and I can literally watch the blue line draw across the site
Yeah.
right now. So
And I tried mobile, I tried desktop, and I was not
Yeah.
getting any difference. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know if this is related. So earlier in the week, they dropped
Right.
some new functionality that was really cool, very much like Own the Moment. It was like an analytics for the moment. They rolled out like kind of the trial of that, where it was one of those things where they posted on X and said, hey, if you put your username here, we'll put you on kind of the beta list.
Yep.
We did that, but it looks like they've pulled that functionality off the site. It's no longer, or at least I'm not seeing it there.
Sure.
I don't know if we got kicked off the beta or no. I think what happened is there's some performance issues and they probably just rolled back
Yep.
their release. But unfortunately, the rollback has not solved the problem. There are still some major
Yeah.
issues out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they hit a bunch of home runs, and I loved when I saw the analytics. They were great. Like, they had a lot of the things that we had been missing.
Yep.
So I was very excited. But unfortunately, it looks like maybe like 3 or 4 steps forward, 1 step back. Things happen.
Yep.
It's part of life.
yeah,
But
that's the way she goes.
it is the way she goes, boys. It's the way of the road. So
Yep.
yeah. All right. That being said, did you get a chance to check it out at all?
I didn't.
The new. Oh, that's a
No,
bummer. Well,
so I went to check it out the first time. I couldn't find it.
yeah.
And then I started running into problems. And the problems for me weren't just today. They were also, I believe, yesterday as well. So,
Yeah, it does. I do think that the problems were starting last night as well. Because I remember,
Yeah.
or early in the afternoon even. I think you texted me, and I remember I was having issues. Like, it was around like 2 p.m. or something.
sure. Yep.
Pacific time, obviously for us. But yeah, not great. Not a good look.
Yep. So what did you think of what you saw?
I mean, again, I liked what I saw so far. I just, I was kind of like looking at it and I'm like, oh, I'll come back to it and check it out more. Thought I would have more time to come back and look
Right.
at it before the episode, obviously. That did not happen
Sure.
because they pulled it down. So that will be something we look to hopefully highlight and talk about in a future episode when a more stable, long-lasting version of that appears.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Perfect.
Well, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about a hot topic that we've seen in the Discord and X on YouTube just overall lately, which is what is up with legendaries. They used to be kind of the crown jewel to get in the collection and such, and very valuable. And unfortunately, this year in Playbook, legendaries are kind of afterthoughts. They're just not even necessary anymore. It is
Sure.
not something that you need to win. So, what are your thoughts? You like that? Don't like that? How are we feeling about that?
I'm on the fence about that. I don't really know. I can see both sides of the coin. I mean, they need to get more people involved, and
Yeah,
by sticking with the legendary style, like a playbook or something like that, they're just going to alienate more people. So it's just going to be those big spenders. But I can also see the side where the big spenders want a piece of the action too because they spent more.
right.
So the question it comes down to is, why are the big spenders spending what they're spending? Do they do that because they want to participate and have utility, or are they doing it just because they want to collect? So if it's about utility, then we got a problem. And if it's
Yeah.
not about utility and it's about collection, then it shouldn't really matter. So I guess it's, like you kind of ask, I'm not a huge legendary collector myself. I feel like we keep running into these problems where we feel like we've got something that's worth something and it's going to have a lot of utility, and then it doesn't end up working out. And you never know where
Right.
it's going to come from next. And I don't think anybody in their right mind thought it was going to be the legendary situation, but here we are. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll say I hear what you're saying. The one thing that I'll kind of point out is that it's the people who collect those legendaries and keep it going in, and it can be both, right? It doesn't have to be utility or collection. I think it can be part of both of those. And so
Yeah.
I think that what we'll see is probably some collectors are going to not be as not be as heavy into the legendaries, and that's going to hurt the product overall. So I hear what you're saying in that they're trying to bring more people in, but when they're bringing more people in, they're also losing some of the upper end stuff, which is what I think kind of carries the product right now. Like last week in Playbook, I actually did quite well, but the cash prizes were pretty small. Even up at the top, they were only like 25, $50.
Sure.
For winning, for finishing up in the top. And whereas in the first week or two, it was much higher. And
Yep.
I think what we saw in those first couple of weeks was we saw a lot of people who, not a lot, but we definitely saw some people who won large prizes and then cashed out by buying moments and then turning around, flipping them, and then taking that dapper balance and taking that cash out and going elsewhere with it. And I don't think that that's the spirit of what we're trying to do here.
Yep.
So to me, that's problematic. When we have money leaving the ecosystem, what we want to see is the people who are winning those big prizes is their desire to take that, turn around, and buy new moments, or buy something that they had their eye
Right.
on, or
But by
if they
rule,
win a
don't
really
they have-
big amount. I'm sorry, go ahead.
By rule, they have to buy something with that. They can't just take the cash directly and cash out. They have to buy
Correct.
something. But what you're saying, they're just taking that cash, buying something quickly, flipping it, and then
Yep.
we're out. And
Yeah,
do
what
we
we
have
saw a lot of-
confirmation that this is
I
actually
absolutely
happening?
can confirm that was happening. With my own, I mean, not that I was like a victim of it, but I can definitely say that I had moments that I had a few bids on, some of the rookie moments, the new 2025 rookie moments,
Yeah.
where someone was buying them for $1 more or less and then turning around and flipping them right to me seconds later. And then I
Got it.
looked at those individuals' accounts, and they just had basic moments to play the events with, and that was it. Like, these
But
were
did you
not
see that
people
they
who
were winners?
They were names that I recognized from the winners, yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
And still we're at the top of the board. So look, I'm not saying everybody who won. I'm just saying there were definitely a few people who did this, and multiple people. And so to me, that kind of defeats the system. I would like to see, you kind of talked about like the high rollers table, right? And
Right.
I do think having something with a little bit more gatekeeping around it would be nice for some of the bigger prizes, just because I think that you do, like, again, those people, the chances of them taking that money and cashing out are very low. The chances of them taking that money and going out and buying an ultimate or, a couple legendaries if
Yep.
they finish up real high are good.
But
So
that doesn't fix the problem.
it does fix the problem because, again, I'm not worried. Like, if someone wants to cash out on the base playbook and take $50 out of the ecosystem, fine.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
more talking about when someone's taking 5 grand off the top, which was the first couple week prizes, and
Yep.
taking 5 grand and then walking out the door with that.
And we really have confirmation that somebody walked out with 5 grand.
No, I don't have confirmation it was 5 grand. I'm saying there were people who won
Large
multiple
sum.
hundreds of dollars
Got it.
who I can confirm did that.
Got it. Okay. I mean,
So
that makes sense. I mean, I think that there needs to be some type of gatekeeping, like you said, and I don't know if it's done through you have to hold so many moments
right.
to actually like win the prize, or like to participate you have to have at least like 200 moments or something to that effect, or
Yeah.
like or
Personally,
maybe they gotta like maybe you gotta hold the balance for at least like 60 days or 30 days. Like you can't
yeah.
cash out after
Well,
I would never
I don't think
I
that
would
does it.
I would never have a problem with that.
Yeah, I think where they screwed up is that they put the big chunks of money in week one and week two when you could easily participate in the pro playbook with just basic moments because you had no cooldown, no nothing. So I would think they would
Oh,
want to
okay.
take the bigger prize dollars and put them in week four or week five, where there's people who are going to be who have smaller collections and don't have legendaries and won't benefit. They'll have people on cooldown, so it will be beneficial to have legendaries. Or, for instance, this week is like a Whiteout Wonders, launch codes, ball hawk. Like it's certain series of players you have to have, and
Yeah.
so again, like using like that, like this week would be a better week for that, just because it would reward people who collected over the last couple of years, and not
Yeah.
even legendaries. That's a rare reward, and so I'm not saying it has to be just legendaries, but I'm saying like reward people who collect the sets, people who are actual collectors. And honestly, had there be if there were bigger cash prizes this week, you might have spurred a lot more purchasing of the Whiteout Wonders and the launch code sets. Instead of right now,
Yeah.
it's like you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I get a pack in $5. Who cares, right? Like it's not that important to me.
Yeah. I guess I got to say I'm not really a fan of this week the way it's kind of structured.
Of what, the
Oh,
playbook?
yeah, of like the pro style one with like the sets that they chose. It just seems, I don't know. It just doesn't like me personally. I'm not really that able to participate. I barely was able to get into it, and like I feel like for somebody who's got 5,000, 6,000 moments like myself, like that
Yeah,
that shouldn't be a struggle for me. And
it
like you
shouldn't.
said,
But to be fair, you haven't really collected over the last couple of years as much as you're more heavily in the earlier seasons, and,
right,
a
but
lot of these sets
I've
didn't
like
exist
I've
then.
got multiple sets of launch codes. So like I mean again, but like what running backs are in any of these sets? Like Whiteout Wonders, like that's where I was kind of like, where the hell are these guys? Like ball hawks, like
Last year's Ground Greatness series is where all the running backs came from.
sure. So it's like you're kind of like pigeonholed to like from what I can tell, like one set. It seemed like the prices were extremely high. So like again, like you said, here's the way I looked at it: is like I look at the prize, I look what's involved, and I'm like everybody's jacking up the price, and I get
That
that, but it's just not
that's
what
my point. Is why didn't they, so yes? So you're
I
adding to
know,
my
I know,
point
I
here.
know, I know. I'm
So
adding to.
I agree with you, but then make this week put all the money in a week like this instead of in week one where it was just like having they
They're
could have
trying to
done this
they're
a
trying to
lot
get
better.
asses in the seats. I mean, that's the
Look, you
thing you got
get
to
asses
realize.
in the seats with the regular playbook and the classic playbook. The free and the classic are asses in the seat.
My
I'm
guess,
saying if you're giving away thousands of dollars to users, I want to go into people who are going to spend it in this system.
right? I mean, here's the thing. My guess is what happened is that you got a bunch of people from Top Shot that came over that normally don't play and took that balance and probably took it back over there or something like that. I don't think they probably got, like I don't think the money left the ecosystem as much as maybe
That's
we
not
think
true
it.
because you don't have to flip it. You can take the money and go spend it in Top Shot tomorrow.
Oh, you
You don't
can.
have
Okay.
to flip it. No, you don't
Okay.
have to flip it. These are people who walk that money out the door.
I guess
Again,
I'd have to look into that and see exactly what
well,
happened. I
if we
mean,
had on the moment, we'd be able to, but unfortunately, it's hard to track that now because of the lack of systems.
got it. Got it. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
look,
yeah.
I
Okay.
wouldn't I
So,
wouldn't be saying this if I had not literally seen it with my own eyes. Like I'm telling you right now,
yes.
I'll go back and
I'll
if you need
find
me, I'll
it and
find
I'll
the moment.
show
I'll
you.
find that moment. Anyway, all right, I'll stop yelling at the clouds and we'll move forward. But I will say that again, I hope they think it through a little bit better as they progress and pick which weeks get the rewards financially.
Yes. I mean, here's what I would prefer to have seen. Like instead of doing this whole whiteout wonders thing, I think they should have just made it a legendary week. Like, like that's what they should have done. Just like
Yeah.
made it a legendary week instead of like, again, like some of these sets, it's like, like not everybody's going to have every set. I mean, those are very specific sets.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, it doesn't make sense to overpay for these rares to win like a prize, even if it was a really good prize. It's like just do like a legendary challenge, and then people can use all different types of legendaries, and then maybe throw in a couple of rare sets to kind of sprinkle it in to say if you have that, then you can play too,
Right.
and then that way it's like at least I can justify that. But like the whiteout wonders and launch codes, those are I mean like launch codes is a very popular set, but whiteout wonders is kind of like a newer set,
Well,
and
but there
then
was no receiver set before. I mean, there was, but it's changed. So
but I
there were
mean launch
receivers
code.
in the original launch code. So you could have played
Right.
receivers from launch codes.
And I'm just saying, like, I mean, I just found myself like struggling to, again, I've got a lot
Yeah.
of sets. And again, I don't maybe have as many of the newer sets, but somebody should be able to participate still. I mean, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Given that.
Again,
So I just,
yeah.
I feel bad on the legendary side. I feel like people should be involved that way, but I feel like it was a bad stew and they tried something, and I'm not going to sit
Yeah.
here and complain about it, but I just feel like whatever they did this week, bad stew.
Okay.
That's my
Again,
take.
I don't necessarily think this was bad, Stu. I've heard people have your take. There are definitely people who were not collectors of some of these rare sets. So completely understand that people who were not collectors of these sets are going to feel like, hey, why can't I participate? But at the same time, that's the pro playbook is going to be something where you can't participate every week unless you are. Again, this is the
But
high
doesn't that
rollers
throw off
table,
the
right?
huddle? Doesn't that throw off huddle?
No, huddle's
Or is it
only
the
the
classic
pick
and the rare?
Yeah, no, not even the classic. It's just the free. It's the one and done, and it is the pick'em. That's
Got
it
it.
for
Got it. Okay.
huddles.
Okay.
So classic and pro are
Okay. So
not
it
part of
doesn't throw that
huddles.
off. Okay.
No, it
Okay.
does not.
Got it. I didn't realize that.
Yep. All right. So a couple other things, real quick. There's a couple of like kind of set updates. We had that first. We had our last
Can
episode.
I,
We talked about the gems. Oh, you
hey,
want to go
can
back to?
I
Yeah.
wanted to just jump in and say something really quick. The eliminator pool that we did to
Yeah.
win
Legendary.
a legendary,
Yep.
which probably won't be very useful for you. I just wanted to
Yeah.
update that and say that I think there was like last time I checked, there was like 30 some people left in that. A bunch of people got out last week.
Oh, okay.
So
Who
I just
cost
wanted to
them?
kind of just say it's still going strong. We're still doing it. I just didn't want it to get left out. So I will, while you're talking about what's going on next, I will find the exact number of people that are left going into week 4 that we're in.
Yep.
We're in
Week
week
four.
4? Yeah. Yeah. So I'll find that exact number, but I just want to let everybody know it's still going strong. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to have a quick update on. We talked about the gems and their kind of different sets and such last week. So we saw the first series of trade-ins. So we had the ruby, we had the emerald, and then we had the sapphire trade-ins. And so people went out, did that, and all of the special cereals were delivered in that first tranche of what they sent out. But the one thing I want to make sure people understand is that there is another window that has opened up now that lasts like I want to say it's like 50 days. It might even be more.
Okay.
It is, let's see here. It is 141 days. So what I saw though is what's really interesting is a lot of people just started flooring, especially the emerald moments, which a lot of people that was like one of the ones that a lot of people didn't spend money on. They were kind of high priced, and now they're dropping down. They were like at the $50 mark, and now I'm
Okay.
seeing them down around $10. And I think a lot of people are missing the misunderstanding that they think there's no more utility for them, and there really, I guess, there isn't if you were trying to get those special cereals, and their value has certainly decreased, but I wouldn't
Okay.
say that it's dropped 80% because you can still lock a whole set and get the reward. Now, you won't have access to one of the special cereals. You'll just get a like a normal, whatever, like a
Sure.
17 or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
But you can still get these rewards. They're still out there to be achieved. And I think a lot of people don't realize that or just don't care. So interesting to see how the moment prices just the bottoms just dropped out on a lot of these.
And you're saying the bombs dropped out on
On
the.
like the emeralds and the mostly the emeralds because they were moments that you could pull in packs, right?
Yep.
The sapphires were trade-ins. So
Got it. Got
basically
it.
everybody who did sapphire did it with a purpose. Like they
Got it.
spent money on it, and so those are still maintaining value. The ruby were like the 300 rares, and so those were always like the 7, 8, 9, $10 moments. The emerald was kind of that middle one where there's only 50 of them. And so the price point of those at first was like in that $40 to $70 range.
Right.
And then once the locking expired, I've seen them drop all the way down to the $10 range now.
Got it. Okay.
And so you can get a moment I mean, 50, something minted to 50 is basically a legendary mint count.
Yeah.
And you can get these for $10 right now. Some of
Yeah.
them, not all of them, but some of them. So again, I don't know, the parallels, the value that they hold is very arbitrary and
Yeah.
such. But it's if you want to take a chance on something, I would say pick up some of these emerald rares while they're at $10 because
Sure.
I mean, again, if you want to collect the sets, if you need some moments for your
Sure.
collection, if only if you need them. But that's what I would just say, like, just keep an eye on those right now because they're really coming down in price.
Got it. What is your opinion of those moments?
Um, I don't. I think it was a good. They're trying to compete. They're trying to more or less. And this is a good segue into something else we're going to talk about. But they're trying to get more in line with kind of the cardboard and get on board with that. Um, so it's interesting to see how they're doing that with like the parallel versions, with some of these signature versions, these special pulls that you can make, like you do with like cardboard packs. So they're trying to get more in line with that to compete. But I think it's really interesting because you and we have been watching. There's a guy that they've engaged, and his name's like Greg or something. I forgot his name, but he's like a cardboard collector. And
Oh,
All Day
okay.
is paying this guy to do a little segment where he highlights a digital moment every week and kind of just, talks about it and such. And you and I were going through the YouTube comments, and there are some people out there who
It's
are
brutal.
just, yeah. I mean, there are some people who are like, if you keep shilling this, I'm going to stop listening to you forever. Like they're
Right.
just super upset. And it's really interesting how some of these people are just like so anti-digital moments.
Yep.
I think about it and I'm trying to think of it from the perspective. And I feel like it's the same people who want gold over Bitcoin. And look, there's always going to be people who think that, if I can touch it and it's tangible, then it has more value. But I will say a couple of things. One is there has been a rash of fake slabs lately, which are when the cards they get graded and put in a slab and shipped out. And
Sure.
like once they're like, kind of locked in there, you never take them out and they're
Yep.
worth a lot more money that way. And there is a rash of counterfeits. And so it's really funny that people are like, "Oh, I can just take a picture of, or I can just download the video and make my own moment." Well, sure, but as you can see, someone can easily take your card, replicate it, and sell it to you at a bargain price, and you just got took. And so I don't understand why people aren't willing to say like that. The beautiful thing about these moments is that they're verifiable, right? They're on a blockchain. They're not something that you can counterfeit. They're legit. And the other great thing about them is that everything that you ever buy is 10 gem mint, period. You can't bend it. You can't accidentally, scuff a corner. You don't
Yep.
get a print misaligned. None of that ever happens.
Well,
So
yeah,
the
and you get a
value
count on it
is,
too.
What's that?
And you get a count on it too. You know exactly how many
Yeah.
there are. It's very easy to like. Everybody knows what's what. But
Right.
again,
And
I think it's just. I mean, I think it's just kind of that. If you can hold it, it's like more of a thing.
yeah, and look, and I get it. And I think that as as we progress, we'll just see more people open to the idea. But it is really like fascinating to me, people who are just like so if they can't touch it, then it's not real. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah,
like they
but I
just
mean, there
can't
is
wrap
that.
their heads around it.
Right. I mean, I think like if I can join their team for a second, which I'm not on that side, but I feel like they kind of feel like if Dapper goes out of business, if they shut down, what happens to all my moments? It's like if
Yeah.
Tops goes out of like here's the opposite of that is if like Tops or Fleer or one of these Panini, whoever the heck it is, they go down. It's like kind of like your cards almost become worth more because it's kind of like something that used to exist and now doesn't exist, so it makes it more rare in a sense. And I think that maybe there's this idea that by if a blockchain goes down, I mean, we haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, like where they've had like moments or like digital collectibles and it's gone down. It's like, does that server go on forever? Can they pay for that? Do they have the funds allocated for that? I mean,
I mean, yeah, the NFL has stated that they will support the ongoing
yeah,
assets. So,
but I mean, like they will they really though? I mean, like again, like like
yeah, I
I'm not
think. I
trying to
mean,
like
I'm not. I know you're not trying to fearmonger, and I look. I get
no.
it. That's a potential thing,
I just
but it.
I think that's where like, but again, it's like I guess what I'm
Okay,
saying is
but
like
here. Let me just
can
counterpoint
I
you.
can I
You're
just can I just say
sure.
one thing? It's like I think there's counterpoints to both. So it's like to say that one's shit and one's great. That's
I,
where yeah, and that's the whole thing
yeah,
is they both have their upside. So that's what
I
I'm simply trying to
complete.
say is that I think that the people that are like getting so upset about this are they're just seeing the downside and they're not looking
Yeah.
at the upside. And I think that's where everything's kind of getting lost.
Yeah, and look, I am not saying cardboard is shit. I am saying there is room for both. I'm just
Yeah,
surprised that people who are so heavily into cardboard don't see the benefits of here. Because again, like I hear what you're saying about networks going down, but let's say your house burns down. Well, guess what? Your Dapper collection is still intact out there. So
yeah,
if you have thousands of dollars worth of you know Dapper or of All Day or Top Shot or something, the beauty is you just walk down the street, you fire up your phone or your laptop or whatever, you
yeah.
get a new laptop and you get it all back. So
I understand, but
your
that
house,
like that's your gold versus Bitcoin theory right there too. I mean, it's
well,
just
but
kind of
gold
like
should survive a fire nonetheless. But
it should, but somebody breaks into your house, steals all your stuff. It's kind of like
yeah, look,
Anyway, yeah, I
neither
got
one
it
is perfect.
right.
Anyway, we digressed. Just wanted to bring that up. Thought it was interesting. Would love to know if anybody has thoughts around this or, just has seen kind of different things because I just find that very fascinating.
I This is what I would say. Like as far as like we've been like I've been a huge proponent of them, like going to a what's it called to getting an
Off chain
influencer.
wallet.
No, to doing like to using influencers
Yeah,
like the
and they are.
like Greg.
Yeah.
And
I
I
just
don't
wonder if Greg's going to bail because he's worried about his
I don't think
user
Greg's the
base
right
being.
guy. I don't think Greg's the right guy. Like
Why not?
I see what they're doing.
Greg's got 400,000 Followers, so
I
I
don't
don't
give
think
a
Greg's
shit
the
if
wrong
Greg's
guy.
got 40 guys. It doesn't matter how many. I mean, maybe Greg's. I don't know. Maybe Greg's got numbers and I'm not seeing them. But it just I feel like they need somebody who's younger, who's
Yeah.
more like more in the crypto / digital world. It's like Greg's living in a cardboard world and he's trying to play in a digital world. It's like
Yeah.
Greg ain't that type of guy. So it's like let's get a guy that's like younger, like maybe like 24, 25 who's like let's influence the younger kids cuz they'll actually cuz we're trying to influence these older
You just
people
love the kids, man.
because the youth is where it's at. It's like you
No, I
keep
know.
trying to influence like these older people. They're never going to change their mind. You
Yeah.
gotta get somebody who's like 30 or below. That's like, that's where it's at. Because these kids will just like again, 19, 20, 21, and I'm calling them kids, young men, young women, whatever. They'll buy into it. They'll actually start, and that's how you build things. It's again,
Yeah.
I I like the Greg approach, but it's like, okay, we threw one at the dartboard. Uncle Greg ain't cutting it. That's my take.
Yeah,
And not, no
no,
disrespect to Greg.
yeah, hey, no,
If his
no,
name
and
is Greg,
totally. Well, yeah.
I
But
ref-
no, I think that's like it's Jeff actually. It is Jeff.
sorry.
It's Reverend Greg, Jeff, whatever. Sorry, buddy. Anyway, but the one thing I'll say is at least they're trying. They're
Yes,
trying new
yes.
things, so I applaud them for that. I'm sure they're looking at the analytics and seeing what they're pulling across, what's sticking, what's
Hmm.
working. But I agree with you. I do think that getting in a couple of younger, like fresh kind of takes on it or whatever would be interesting in that regard. Maybe a little bit more into the crypto space or just into some of the different spaces. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it we'll see. We'll see how it, how this pans out and if it winds up being kind of a benefit for them. But yeah, I definitely think more digitally savvy young folk might be a
Hmm.
better route for getting more kind of asses in the seats. So
I think so. I don't. Again, just imagine having a conversation with a 40-year-old person and trying to convince them that digital moments are the way to go. It's like
well, I mean, we
that.
were
That
that. Hey, we
I
yeah,
I
I
know,
I
but
get it.
those conversations are very cut and dry. It's like, no, it doesn't make no sense to me.
Right,
Or
you either do or you don't.
yes, and they're
Yeah.
over like that. And again, you can see that in the comments. And again, what I will say is that maybe Jeff, is it Jeff or Greg? I don't know. I'm getting confused.
It's
But let's
Jeff.
say Jeffrey. Let's say that Oop, did I lose you there for a second?
No, no, we're here.
Okay, I'm just saying that maybe he is bringing in some people. So if he is, great, and like
Yeah.
stick with it. But I just can't believe that that's really working out. But like he was showing that Tom Brady moment, and I think what was the other moment he was pushing?
The Buka.
Oh, Buka, yeah, that was it. So again, maybe they're seeing like a lot of numbers. I don't know what is Tom Brady? He was pushing the rare. What
We saw some movement.
where's it at right
Definitely
now?
on the common. Where is it? Let's see here. Let's go to.
Yeah, just
Oh
search all
God.
Tom Brady's moments and let's see where he's
Yeah,
at.
I'm going to. Oh, look at that. The site's actually moving right now. So
Yeah.
let's they unplugged it and plugged it back in. Oh my God, it's like back to fast now. Okay, so we're seeing the rare. Oh, the rare's up at 153. That's definitely up, and then
That went
the
up and went
common's up
down.
as well.
It went
But
up
let's
and
go
went
look at the
down.
sales. Let's see where the rubber meets the road here. Okay, so we are seeing. Let's
So,
see.
so
So the
let's.
last nine. Well, I think he broadcasted. I want to say about what 9 days ago. I think that
Well,
would
he
probably
bought one.
qualify.
So who is he?
I don't know what it is. Jeff,
I mean, I'm wondering if he's rare.
maybe here. I don't know. No, it's 23
He
days.
he
Anyway,
bought
point
he bought
being.
it at 120 something, I believe.
All right, so maybe one of these guys.
Okay. So it looks like
Anyway,
basically Rare went out there and was buying what he was talking.
yeah, Rare, Osimo, a couple other people. So he got a few. He got a few people in there. I want to
Yep.
see where. Let's look at the. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what's going on with the. So yeah, where you can see Rare went in there and bought a couple of commons as well. Yeah, see a lot more commons were moving, which makes sense. They're a more affordable price point. It's
It's
also
his
his
debut.
debut,
Yeah.
so I don't hate
I
that.
I was kind of
Wow,
shocked
Rare
that
is really going to town on this here.
let's go into Rare's account. Let's check out who Rare is. Is that maybe he
All right.
is Rare?
Now Rare's been a member since 2022, so Rare's not new.
Got it. Got it.
So Rare's just collecting Tom Brady.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, well, shout out Rare. Oh, he's a Patriots fan. That's why. There we go.
Got it. Got it.
Good work, Rare. Way to buy the floor up. So yeah, so we're seeing here. So nonetheless, it's not moving the market a ton. I'm sure they're seeing the analytics on that. As far as like if it got new people, new eyes on the platform, great. In the meantime,
Yeah.
let's switch over to the first hollow icon slash what's the other metallic gold LE drop of the season. So came a little earlier. The expensive packs, the $500 packs here, those actually sold out
Wow.
right away. Those sold out
Okay.
like opening day. These packs, the $39 packs, took I want to say like a couple of days to sell. And then
Okay.
these ones, the ones where you can buy for $5 and get the $2 buyback,
Right.
they're essentially sold out because all that's left now, all the good stuff's been pulled out. All that's left now are just rares. So there's no legendaries, no nothing, no signature moments. So no one's even like someone will eventually buy them maybe, but these are kind of dead in the water. Everything good's been
Yeah, but
pulled.
there's
There's
only
like only
6,000. There's only 6,000 of them.
right, and there's only like 100 left.
Oh, okay.
So it's I'm saying like in
And
all
there's
essence,
one rare
it's
in there, right?
there's rares in there, yeah,
But you're
not
not guaranteed a
guaranteed.
rare. Oh,
No,
okay, okay. I was
not
gonna
for
say
$5. No,
I was gonna say if there's a guaranteed rare and they're not selling out, that's you got
no,
problems
no,
there.
no, no. But what's interesting, and I want to get your take on this just because I know that you and I have talked about Genesis moments before. It's not quite a Genesis moment, but what they're doing this year, and it's in this pack, there were 304 of these packs,
Okay.
is this ultimate one of one Amika Ibuka. So there are 10 ultimates for Ibuka this year, just like
Mm-hmm.
regular players have, there's 10 ultimates, right? That's normal. Well,
Yep.
there is a special one ultimate moment that is in that pack that has, you guessed it, his signature on it.
Okay, so that's the one of one.
That is the one of one. And I believe, I believe it has not been pulled yet. It's still out there in the wild. Let's take a peek. Yep, still available. And it's interesting. It has not only does it have the number one badge, but it also has the perfect serial badge because it is both. There's only
Okay.
106 packs left, so two-thirds of the packs basically have been open. Well, almost two-thirds of the packs have been opened,
Right.
and that is still out in the wild. So that always adds to the excitement when there is a potential. This is like kind of a new moment, right? This is a new like a new
Is
level
the
of
moment
moment.
is the moment the same? So they did an ultimate for him.
Yep,
Is it kind of like they did 10 and they all look the same, and then they did this is the 11th at the same moment, but
correct.
it just has a signature?
But it has the signature and the fancy like kind of foil effect on the front there.
Got it. So it is the
And
like
it's
the exact same
yep,
play,
exact
exact
same
same.
play.
Okay.
It's the touchdown against Atlanta there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. If it's a signature of the same exact moment and it's a
Yep.
one of one, it's like kind of like there's 11 of them, but obviously they gotta to make it
Yeah.
different. They gotta do this. So I'm okay with that. I'm like I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm all about the autographs. I think it gives it a little bit more like adds a little bit more fun to it. So yeah, what's your thought?
No, oh, I forgot the G. I'm interested too. Like I think it's kind of cool. Like it's the same play, like you said. I'll be curious to see how it prices out because
Is it the same? Oh
um
yeah, it's the same play.
it is the same play. You can see it right here. It's
It
just
should be
like
the
they just
same
put,
icon.
they put a fancier. No, it shouldn't be the same icon because it's got
Yeah,
the
it should be.
signature. It should be fancier.
Right. I feel like it should be the exact same picture, but with the
Yeah.
signature and the flare around it. And yeah, I don't like
Mm,
that they're different. That's rubbing me the wrong way.
interesting. Okay, it doesn't rub me the wrong way. I kind of like that it's a little bit set apart. Like I like that like I want it to be. When I see this thing, I want it to look different. I guess they could have done the same thing with no signature. Maybe would that have?
Yep.
Maybe we can
Yes.
compromise there.
Yeah. That's what. If it had been the same picture, no signature. That's what it would have
Okay.
been fine for me.
All right. Well, I think we're kind of splitting hairs here, but
Yep.
nonetheless, I'm very curious to see where this thing lands price wise because it
Yep.
is a one of one, even though it's one of 11.
Yep.
Unless the thing that's going to be weird is like if you pull this moment and you want to use it on the leaderboard, you can't because it's a one of one. It'll never, unless you sell it to somebody else, there will never be a value assigned to this moment for a leaderboard. So you
Right.
could never lock it to win a leaderboard, which I'm a little bit. I gotta say that would be like for me if I pulled this. Let's say I'm an Abuka fan and I really want to win. I want that top spot on his
Sure.
leaderboard this year. I'm like going for it, and I pulled this, and I'm buying all these packs, and then I can't even use it to get the number, the jersey number, or the number
Yeah.
one of the
That's
legendary at the end.
yeah. That's the thing that I don't. I mean, like, and again, I don't know enough about the blockchain to say specifically whether they can make an alternate moment inside, or if they all have to look exactly the same, or if there's any way to, you know, code
Well,
it so
I
one of them does look different than the rest. I don't. I guess I just don't know. I would
you know
assume
what
that there's
I
not.
should. I don't know if they announce this or not, but what I think they should do is they should make the average sale price a multiplier. Like if you were to lock this moment, it should be like a 2x or whatever of the average sale price of these moments.
Yeah, but then what if it sells on its own and it goes?
If
for
it
really
does,
high
then it receives that value. If it sells on its own, just like a regular moment, if it sells on its own,
who's
it
going to keep
receives the
track
value.
of it? I mean, that sounds like a lot to keep track of.
I don't think so. That's how they do it right now with special serials on all the other tiers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think
we'll see.
That's the kind of shit you get into when you create one-on-ones. I mean,
I know, and that's why I'm saying I just think it'll be interesting to see how they handle that, or if they handle it, or how they may have already said something. I have not seen it if they've announced it, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Nonetheless, what a cool moment for whoever pulls it. So shout out to whoever pulls this bad boy, because that'll be a really nice And the one thing I'll say too is we saw the Justin Jefferson the ultimate that there's only 4 of.
Yeah.
One of them sold this week.
Oh, really? I think I saw
$10,000.
Oh, okay. Hey, just letting you know, I'm starting to run a little bit low on battery. I don't have my cable here, so just so you know, I'm limited on time.
That's fine. We're winding down anyway.
We're winding down. Hey, I just want to make one quick comment. Can you go to like one of those emerald moments?
Sure.
I've been meaning to get this in there really quick.
All right. I'll bring up all the emerald moments for you. There you go.
I just want to say this. I think these look like shit. I do. And I feel bad saying that, but to me it just looks like a third grader drew that on there with a sparkly pen, and I'm not a fan of them. It doesn't look very good. It looks pixelated. I just feel like if you're gonna sell me a moment that looks like it's not making the grade for me. It just doesn't I don't know.
Is it just the emerald or is it all the gems?
I saw it with all of them. It just doesn't look appealing. It just looks like a picture. It looks like a picture with a sparkly back, like a sparkly circle.
Yeah.
I actually like it less. I want that to go away.
Yeah.
I don't want that on the moment. It looks ridiculous. In my opinion. And nothing against the artist. I never want to
So Ryan's saying NFL All Day Art Department, back to the drawing board.
Here's the thing. I don't ever want to pick on art is a subjective thing, and it's I don't ever want to say somebody's work is shit. I'm just saying that as an owner of moments, this isn't something that makes me want to go get something. This isn't something that strikes me as hey, I should pay more for this. It just doesn't have that look.
But did you notice that there's a little gem down at the bottom?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, if you look closely in the bottom of the moment, it's easier when I don't roll over it. There's a little gem at the bottom of the moment in that little, just above the point of the shield. Yeah.
And maybe this is where I go with the cardboard guys a little bit. I don't know, but it's just I look at this and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Here's what you can do with these that you can't do with cardboard. They can go back and change this. They can improve it.
I sure hope so. Yeah, I mean, you got a good point with that. Yep.
Well, we'll see. I doubt they will. I would think they're probably not going to do that.
And listen, I don't want to pick on anybody, but it doesn't look very good, and I was just like, really?
Yeah.
So it just, I'm trying to keep it PG here.
Yeah, I got you. Well, hey, just because I'm looking at these moments closely now, shout out to the Jay Cutler jersey fan in the back of the Nashon Wright moment there. I see the number 6 there. So love to see a good Smokin' Jay jersey whenever possible. We'll end it on a positive note. All right. Well,
all right.
We'll save your battery, and we'll save everybody else from having to endure any more
pain. You know what? I'm going to bring it back here real quick to one thing that I just want to say is that there are 32 people left in our Eliminator Challenge, down from, I think it was 61 we started with. So nearly half are gone. I don't know if you know any of those people. But yeah, so that's going on. I'll be curious to see what happens this week. In the floor of floaty, I noticed when Playbook first took off, the floor of floaty ended up being 15 cents, but I noticed last night it's back down to 10 cents.
You mean?
But there's
the common moment.
The common moments. Yeah. So I noticed that Top Shot has always been like 24, 25 cents, and it's kind of held there for a while. And
Yep.
I noticed that it went back to down to 10 cents, but there were only limited. There was only like maybe like 10 moments, something like that, that were there, and then it jumped up to 15 cents. So it was kind of cool to see that floor actually kind of kick up. That to me kind of signified that they were doing something right, because I mean, for a while there was like 9 cents, and it was like just like a fleet of moments, and it was like then you go to 10 cents, and it was like another long
Yeah.
list. So it's something happened there.
Yeah.
So
Probably the all day buyback account bought them to shove into packs just to recycle out to everybody.
maybe they drew some green stuff around them. I don't know.
Yeah, they turned them into emerald moments. All right.
Cool.
All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will be back again to talk about the new developments and what comes out, and hopefully show some more of that analytics feature that we were unable
Yeah.
to show tonight.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, enjoy football tomorrow if you're getting up and whatever you're doing, and we are out.
Later.